Welcome to another episode, everyone. Baby B Braze of Who's fame has some things to say to me, the big fella. Damion Porter spelled my name wrong like a lot of these dudes do. How do y'all continuously spell my name wrong? It's right here in this title. Treyway, 6K, just went PC at High Desert State Prison. Treyway 6 is bad people's now. Then it says Damion Porter spells my name wrong. Let's get into it.
Hey man, you already know. Tapping on the who's, we going crazy on GM. Hey, look, I don't want no problems. I ain't starting nothing. I'm getting straight to it. Damion Porter on the hood. For a long time, I ain't been saying nothing to you. Said I try to stay far away from you because you cap, you lie on your stuff. You said a whole month worth of a cap about me. You made a whole lie up saying that I got airlifted and I walk around with people following me and all that. Hey, this for you though. This video was strictly for you and to get at you like this. First of all, gang, I don't know you. Second of all, whoever tell you what it is a lie. You got on the internet and lied about me and said that I walk around with protection, that I'll be having a gang of people on me and that you got word that your boys is on me and all that. Look, I didn't do this video to go back and forth with you. I did this video to tell you these facts on Wells. And then the bus show bubble, really, I want to ask you a question after this. At the end of all this on Bloods, the biggest question I'm going to ask you is going to mess up everything. Now, I want you to answer that. Set. First of all, let me go down this. I never got airlifted. I'm blessed. We're going to say that right there. You lied about that on your page. Second of all, you know what I'm saying? You said I was walking around with protection. I was scared your homie just be on me at canteen and all that. First of all, I don't even think people even worried about you. I don't know how you the only one on the internet be doing this. On the hood, I don't know how you the only one on the internet be doing this on Wells, but I know you lie. Let me tell you this though. I want to ask you, and for everybody, don't forget this person that I'm talking about was talking about me first. So I'm for sure always gonna be on you on the dead homies. I just get the last laugh on GM because I'm not a Zark on Bloods and it's a gang of Zarks on here, dead homies. I want to ask you this, Damion Porter. Where's Treyway at? Treyway got on the internet talking about me, made a whole disrespected me, lied to me, was going live, you know what I'm saying, popping it on DLB. First thing happened to him. It's the difference between me and people like Peas though. And right now I want y'all to tell me where he at. Cause guess what I just heard? I already just wrote it up. Going blood. Again, I got into some stuff with my boys, with my homies, my circle on 412. We get issued up, we go up, whatever. We do our thing with our peoples, whatever. That's regular program stuff. I did this video because people try to get at me sideways on the dead homies, but bad peoples. Let me get the fuck up. Look. Somebody tell me where Treyway at right now. This is the same person that got on the stage was popping it about me. Dead homie said I'm a mark, said all this and all that on GM. I know he ain't just go somewhere and rolled it up. I want somebody to tell me, is that a Figaro fact? On Bloods, did Treyway just get somewhere last night or something and rolled it up? This ain't got nothing to do with no hood stuff. When I talk about people, I'm getting at an individual on the dead homies, and I'm gonna always get at an individual, especially somebody that was popping it on me. Dead homies that never been with me. You're a kid on Bloods. Look what you got cracking. You ain't got you can't do nothing with me. Popping it about me. You get on the internet on the dead homies. He get on the internet and ruin his career. GM. And then that Treyway just get on the internet because he does this. He run his mouth so much and stuff that he ain't supposed to. The difference is me. I'm getting on here popping it with myself. If anybody feels some type of way, dead homies, don't forget little Zark piece. Start popping about me first. Dead homies. So we on some individual shit. On Damo. And what I'm saying is, I'm just asking the question. 412. Is peace bad peoples? On DLB, he on the net, bleed me. So I'm asking, is he bad peoples? Did he just on 412? I know my bro ain't telling me the truth. I'ma keep it on 9th Street. On GM, my bro just got at me and told me on 412, hey blood. Remember little blood I was woofing on you? Wipe here. From lying, I'm dying on my dead family. That's exactly what happened, gang. Bro just get up on me and say, hey, your boy get ghost. So for Damion Porter, dead homies, you had a fake story on me. Again, this is not harassment. This is not, this is an entertainment purpose. It's only we getting on here popping it. Dead homies, GB B-Day today on Will's song, bop, 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 bop. But look, your boy, he landed in another prison, dead homies, because he do because look, this is really going, no, this is no Zark gonna pay dead homies. We talk about individuals, no hood stuff. Shout out to the riders though, from all these hoods. Look, I'm reacting to something. All I know is somebody say somebody got beat up or whatever happened. I don't know, don't care. Somebody said had me in his mouth, GM. So he get issued up. I don't know. All I know is my bro tap in right now and say, hey gang, Treyway just got on. I said never. He said on lanes. I said on 412 too. I ain't even gonna press the narrative that he gone. That's not the narrative I'm pressing. I'm saying I know Treyway ain't do that on GM. Come on, gang. Tell me it ain't so. That's what I'm saying.
All right. So just briefly, for a little background for those who may not know, I did do a video. This was roughly 2 years ago. I've been on YouTube about 2.5 years now. Started like in November 23. So, I've been off and on, taking months off, this and that, no more of that. But anyway, and I did a video a couple years ago or so, and I just spoke on an incident that happened in High Desert State Prison, where I said the Hoovers they got into it with a dude over a tattoo that he had. I never mentioned the individual's name. That's what everyone was saying back and forth. Like, DP never even said B Braze's name. And this is before B Braze had a page. This is before he was on YouTube. So I never mentioned his name. I didn't even know his name. And I never mentioned his name because I didn't even know his name, for one. And I didn't know who he was. And no one else did either. He's been on YouTube now and obviously went viral and gained fame and what have you. But at this time, other than his circle, people in the pen and his homies on the street, whatever, I'm not saying he wasn't a reputable. I'm saying people who know him now from the internet did not know him then. So I never even mentioned his name. I told the story, and I did say that, the individual had this tattoo, disrespectful tattoo, and he got airlifted. This is the information that I had received. Now, when I tell my stories, most of the time, and most of the stories I tell, they're stories that involve me personally, or I was there when the situation happened. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. But when I'm relying on information from someone else, I wasn't there. So and that's exactly what they told me, that he got airlifted. So apparently someone had put a little bit on the story. What is a fact is that he was attacked over the tattoo, so forth and so on. I've since learned exactly what happened, but I came back on and corrected myself and said, okay, basically, okay, he wasn't airlifted, but he had got attacked. Again, this was over 2 years ago. And clearly he's been harboring feelings over this since then. And he says, as you just heard, that I ain't tripping. I just wait. I get the last laugh. I don't understand these dudes. How are you getting the last laugh on me? Because you're going on and on about Treyway rolling it up, or did he go PC and this and that? Bro, I didn't go PC. I never rolled it up from a yard. So how you having the last laugh on me? Certainly y'all been digging and digging and digging. All of you individuals been coming at me on the internet, so y'all been digging deep, trying to find something on me. Put it out there. There is nothing. Keep looking. You're not going to find it, bro. You say there's a lot of Zarks on the internet. He not one of them. Listen, I don't know who he talking about. Who's a Zark? You feel me? Man, this guy. But at any rate, so I corrected myself when I found out, okay, he wasn't necessarily airlifted. But as I said, I never even said this individual's name, not one time. And you can't say, well, everybody knew who he was talking about, because no, he didn't have a channel then. He didn't have a page then. No one knew who I was talking about. Until he got a page, found out about the video, and, so forth and so on. And so I'm not capping. I don't cap in my content. Well, I don't have to defend myself or defend my content. I misspoke when I said that he got airlifted, because again, that's the information that I had received. And when I receive information, I'm telling the story, and the information is being conveyed to me, then sometimes the information is not all the way accurate. I do my investigation the best that I can. I find out the accuracy of the story the best that I can before I report on it, and then I go from there. And I may not be perfect in that reporting, particularly if I was not there and I'm relying on information from someone else. So, Braze, I apologize for saying that you got airlifted, and you did not get airlifted. I wasn't trying to say that you had security. I was saying that your people were keeping an eye on you. Wasn't trying to say that you had security because you were some sort of coward. In fact, if you go back through my channel, you will see that I've shown Braze a lot of respect on my channel. I've said that I hope he gets out of prison. I've said that I've heard that he's been, that he stood down in situations, that he stayed stomped down. I've said that I don't have a bad word to say about the individual. I've said this multiple times. And in fact, when this stuff just came up about someone who's supposed to be his baby daddy, Trevor, I never got involved in it, right? I just did a video as to why I didn't get involved in it. I spoke on it and said, only to say, man, I'm not getting involved in that. I saw everyone else having Braze on their thumbnails with this dude, Trevor, making it look like he's hugged up with him, laid down with some more funny looking look on his face. And my guy sent it to me. The same one who sent me this video last night. And I told him, yeah, I've seen this already, bro. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get involved in that. First of all, I don't believe it. There's no evidence about this. And this guy, Trevor, these dudes, I think, trying to smut him up. I said that in the text message to my bro. Key, peace to the guy. And I didn't run it. The only thing that I reacted to or responded to was the video Braze did. Baby B Braze right here. In response to this Trevor talk and these accusations, everyone else was doing videos on it, putting him on the thumbnail, praising this man lover, Trevor, and all this stuff. I was like, wow, man, this is wild. They cold. Because even though, they may be debunking it or saying there's nothing, it's still, you still putting this out, you still putting this on the thumbnail, putting this in your title. I didn't feel like it was right. So I didn't do it. And when he responded to the accusations about Trevor and all that, I reacted to that. I put his response out there, not the allegations. I let him put I helped promote his defense. I played his defense on my channel because I knew everyone else was talking about it, even though I had not. So at any rate, again, I may have misspoke. I'm not perfect. My content is not perfect, but to say that it's a lie, that it's cap and all that, no, that's a lie. That's cap. And saying that there's a lot of Zarks on the internet, that's true. But I'm not going to go back and forth with anyone. The other dudes that was talking about that 50-50 stuff and the 50-50 yards and all that. Now all this sort of stuff, other stuff has been coming out about them. People have been making videos about them saying they 50-50 on the street. No, see? And I said I wasn't going to give them grace because they didn't give me any grace. But I still find myself giving them grace because I haven't even reacted to any of those videos that I've seen with these dudes smutting these dudes up bad. So I'm not desperate for content and just trying to put beef out there and keep stuff in the air and all that. I left that situation. I let it go. I said I was going to let it go, and I did. And I'm not going to be going back and forth with Braze. As I've said, I haven't had a bad word to say about him. And when I gave a story about what happened with the incident that he had over his disrespectful tattoo, I never mentioned his name. Not one time. Go back to the video. I never mentioned his name, not one time. And then came back on, as I said, and corrected myself soon thereafter when more information filtered in. But, it's never enough for some of these individuals. Looking for a situation, you're looking for a problem, you're looking for a beef. I'm not necessarily saying that he is, because as he said, he hasn't even mentioned my name like that or been making content on me. So I can't say he's out here looking for a fight, a squabble from me or whatever, until right now, because he's questioning me about, he wants me to answer something about Treyway, as if I said, he wants to know if Treyway is bad peoples now. It's the question that he's asking, as if I said he's bad peoples or something. Like you putting it out there that I'm bad peoples. What about him? Is he bad people? I never said that this individual was bad peoples, just the opposite. I may have misspoke on the video, never said he was bad peoples. I've always given him respect and his credit on here from the things that I've understood and knew about him or whatever I've heard. I said, okay, and I proceed accordingly. I don't care where he's from. I've said that before. I don't care about all that stuff anymore. If you'd called me 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was steep and active and pushing this groove shit for real, then you'd have had a problem. Yeah, you don't want a problem with me, you'd have had that. Believe me. Ask some of your homies. Game problems. Yeah. You'd have had a problem too. No problem. Yeah. But at this point in my life, no, I'm not on that. What I am on is trying to get individuals out of prison and trying to help individuals that are on the street stay out of prison, stay out of the situation that you find yourself in, unfortunately, brother. And I've said before, I hope you can find your way out of that situation. Never covered the story about why you were in there. Never reacted to that story about why you were in there. I don't think. No, I didn't. Oh, so anyway, and as far as Treyway, I don't know what happened. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I did get up this morning and saw someone else say something like that in their title, Treyway 6K rolled up and all that, I can't answer any questions about whether he's bad peoples and this and that, or if he just got rolled up from a yard. In prison, the information filters in a lot quicker than it does to individuals on the street. We get the information quickly on the street as well with the, advances of technology there in prison. But from prison to prison, you're going to get the information quickly. Something happens, you're going to find out quick, especially nowadays, that you can holler. So you may find out way sooner than I will, or at least sooner than I will, a day or two before me, or hours before me, whatever, about something like this happening inside a prison. So I haven't received any information yet. And since I already misspoke on your situation and you're still upset years later, I have to be extremely cautious not to misspeak again on anyone. So I'm not going to misspeak on a Treyway 6 situation. I don't know what happened. I'll find out. I'll get back to you and everyone else. For me to answer that question right now would be unbecoming. I don't have any answers. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about what happened. But you want me to throw him under the bus because you're upset with him because you said that Treyway attacked you and this and that, and now he's bad people's. Bro, I don't know what happened. I don't want to get involved in you and Treyway 6's beef. I don't know what happened there. This is the first I'm hearing about that he attacked you on the internet. I don't care, man. I don't get in all of that, man. 52 freaking years old. Now, I did a video on you years ago, and I misspoke. I apologize for that, bro. And that's all that I can do.
This is the only video I did to where I said on West Side Lanes, I ain't saying it. Tell me it ain't so. Nigga, on Blood Gang. Okay? When I be posting stuff on my gram, I say certain stuff, this shit get deeper than what I say. Nigga, we are not equal. You take mines on the chin. On Nino's. Little people like that on the dead homies. I tell the world all the time. When y'all be DMing me and saying people talking about me, don't forget he made 2-3 videos about me. Lied and said somebody did this, that on 412. They ain't making rumors talking about I'm rolling up. So what I'm saying for peace, dead homies, dead blood just go to a yard and leave. Yes or no? I'm on DLB. Damion Porter, I'm calling you out. And for all my soldiers, don't fuck with Peas. GM, because he bad peoples. Because he a liar. I'm saying Damion Porter on GM, you're a liar. You knew I didn't get lifted. You know damn well none of that didn't happen to me. No, I ain't walking around no niggas secure me. Yeah, my homies for sure gonna keep Oos on me and be on me. Dead homies gonna be on mine too. My niggas for sure. But just know, keep it on me. Damo. And it's up. When it's up, it'll get stuck. Figaro. I'm saying.
Man, good for you, bro. When I was in there, I kept it on me too. Ask your big homies. I'm not going to get into it. I can't go back and forth with someone in prison. As I said, this dude is too young. I'm somebody's grandpa, as J Hood said. I can't be going back and forth with these dudes. This don't even look right. Hey, Braze, it's all good, bro. I ain't got no problem. He just turned up, bro. Yeah, keep it on me. Yeah. Bro, I can't. I'll never see you, homie, unless you come home, which hopefully you will one day. And that's what you need to be focused on, really. But I'm not going to be here to preach to you, brother. You do you. But I want everyone to get out of that situation that's in that situation. And I had to fight hard to get out of prison myself. And at the end of the day, I don't want to see any of my people in there particularly for the rest of their lives, because a lot of these individuals have something to offer the community. They can be an asset and not a liability to the community once they break out of certain ways and certain ways of thinking. And they will, at some point, they will grow out of it. They just need the chance, to grow. And oftentimes that chance is curtailed because of decisions that are made, ill-advised decisions. And they never really get that chance to exhibit their prowess and how they could have helped the human race and humankind. And it's unfortunate. And but anyway, that's my focus, bro. I don't care about where you from. I don't care about what happened to you, but I don't know why he would tell his people, don't go watch his page. Like, first of all, I don't care. I got my people that watch my page. You got your people, I got mine. Your people don't have to watch mine. I don't care, first of all. But why would you say that? I've never told someone not to watch someone else's channel. I don't care who it is. You'll never hear me say, don't go watch 4Extra or don't watch Crip Mac. Those are my ops, or, they're lying or whatever. I would never say that, bro. I don't, if anything, you've heard me say we need to come together and get a podcast together, keep these other individuals, who are capitalizing from our culture, keep them out of the loop, and we help our culture and put our minds together and lift one another up and, come up with some content that will help the community. And I've encouraged everyone to look at other individuals' pages and said that we're all brothers just trying to get it on here. We're all trying to come up and build our pages up and build ourselves up, and we all need to support one another. I've never said and will never say, don't go support that person. Don't go watch that brother. That's crazy to me. I don't care about it. I don't care that he said it. It's just crazy to me that he said it. I don't care that he said it, or I'm not worried about people listening to it. I don't care. I'm saying? I'm going to continue to work hard, do what I do. My content is authentic. It's not always correct. It's not always perfect. I'm not always correct. I'm not always perfect. When I am wrong or mistaken about something, I try to correct myself quickly. Admit my mistake, admit my wrong, and apologize if an apology is in order, and correct myself, correct my wrong rapidly. And that's all I can do as a content creator and as a man. I can't be perfect all the time, or I can't be perfect with my content, because there's just no such thing. But anyway, Braze, it was nothing personal when I told the story, bro, because as I said, I didn't even mention your name. I didn't even know you. I didn't even have a face on you when I told the story. You came on like right after that, like a month later, 2 months later or something. If you go look at the story, it's still up there. You go look at my story, and when he came on YouTube from the beginning, my story was before he ever came on. I didn't even have a face to the story that I was telling. I do now. We do now. At that time, I didn't. I didn't even have a name. I never said his name, and that's what everyone kept saying. Bro, he never even said your name. He never even said his name. You just know it is him. I guess he just know. You just gonna know it's him. He just a big old killer like that. Just gonna know it was talking about him. I ain't say his name, but either way, I came back on and I corrected myself, because if I was wrong about him being airlifted, then I wanted to correct that. I didn't tell that to make the story more salacious. The story was salacious enough without that. It was a good enough story. Guy enters, gets tattooed, disrespecting the neighborhood attacks him. That faction attacks him. He didn't have to die in the story. And I wasn't trying to make it to where he died in the story. I was just relaying what was relayed to me. This is what was told to me, that basically he got dogged out. He did him bad. But the individuals who are telling me this are on my side or on my team. They're the individuals, some of the individuals who are involved in it, or no close hand about what happened. And they have reasons, I guess, or an incentive to put extras on it to make it seem like it was just that bad, when apparently it wasn't that bad, but he was attacked. But he wasn't airlifted. But it wasn't me putting it on, putting his name in there and this and that, like he's making it seem now. And that was it, man. Let him finish.
And when you tap in on the whole souls, you don't tap it on nothing else. On Damo. Okay? I said people get at me, post me, did this on 412, cat out off Spig in the pen, get whooped out. Tell me it ain't so though. 412. And for all the people that gonna hate and say this, that, don't hate until you know what's going on, gang. On else. When you tap in though, you tap in on the who's souls. GM don't tap in on nothing else. I'm gonna give you the exclusives. I'm gonna tell you, see what's up. Go tap in on Bloods. For all the peoples. Where's Treyway? It was popping about me. Dead homies. Where's P's at? On GM, I know. Please tell me the homie told me some bullshit. If the homie told me some bullshit, be on P's. Damo. The Figaro's ain't lying to each other. Again, this video I'm asking. Dead homies. He had me in his mouth. Where is you at? On GM. No, you ain't go out like that. You tap in on the who's who's, man. All the people, man. Go find P's and Damion Porter on Dead Homies. You some capping. You stay capping in your rap. This is an entertainment purposes only video. I'm not harassing nobody. No bullying. We spreading all peace. This is a peace page. No profanity, nothing. But I want to know where he at. Now, tapping on the who's who. When you tap in, I'm tapping on nothing else.
Yeah, I don't know, Braze. I can't answer that question, bro. You got to ask someone else. I guess you know already where he's at. You say someone told you. You just put this out there that he went PC. So I guess you're sure about that. You have that information. You said someone told you, right? So you're putting a story out there that someone just told you, right? You were not there. You don't know for sure what happened. You're asking, but you're still putting a story out there. That's what happens when you're doing content, bro. I did the same thing that you're criticizing me for, that you're upset about. So as far as, like I said, I'm not even going to speak on Treyway. I don't know anything about that situation, and I don't have to placate or appease anyone by doing what they tell me to do, or responding how they want me to respond, or answering the questions that they want me to answer as it relates to one of my people, and saying something negative about him. First of all, I don't know what happened with that situation. As I said, that's just the truth. If I find out, I'll find out. But I don't really, bro, I'm not in prison anymore. I bring certain stories. I don't play favorites. I put Treyway on my thumbnail with a bloody knife hanging from his neck twice, like back-to-back days, saying Treyway removed, Treyway stabbed in prison, and this and that, with a bloody knife hanging out his neck on the thumbnail, bro. So what are you talking about? Whatever it is, then that's what it is. I'm gonna speak on it, and I'm gonna keep it real about it. Whoever it is. That's all. But shout out to Braze, man. Hopefully you get out of the situation that you're in. As I said, brother, I've been there over 30 years, sitting inside of those cells. And I know at the end of the day, in the privacy of our own hearts, that's all that matters, is getting out of there. All this other stuff doesn't mean anything. And I'm not going to cause extra stress to an individual that's in prison, already going through enough with a life sentence and trying to find his way out of that situation. And as I've said, yes, I made the one video on Braze where I misspoke and did not say his name, but okay, whatever. I misspoke about him being airlifted. It was not deliberate. This is the information that I have received. When the information was corrected, I corrected it myself as well. And whatever video since then, you can go back and look at it. Just recently, I may have spoke on him about something, something may have come up. They've all been respectful. I always say Braze of who's fame, woo, woo, whatever the situation is. I don't speak on them often or do content on them often, but if something comes up, whatever, and I may speak on it, I'm still selective about what I speak on. As I said, I never ran the other content. He's coming at me. These other dudes running content on him when I'm hugged up with Trevor. You upset about something I said 2 years ago. Where I may have misspoken. It wasn't deliberate, bro. But these other people out here saying all kinds of stuff that I'm assuming is not true, which is why I didn't do it. But maybe you should have this sort of energy for them, not for me. I'm not against you, man. Or don't have the energy for anyone. Have the energy, put that energy in the law library, find your way out of there. My cousin had life. He stayed in the law library, man. He got himself home. He kept fighting and fighting and fighting and believing and studying the law and filing his own appeals. I mean, he was, man, and kept saying he was going to get out one way or another, and he got out. So keep fighting, bro. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free, people.